peeps, and welcome back to Israel Plays. You can see I've got a bit of a wonky mouth. Do you know, this morning I was absolutely bricking it. I had a dentist appointment and I've had an infection under my crown, and the reason I'm making this video is don't listen to anything online about how difficult it is to remove a crown. I'm going to start driving home now, so I'll talk about it on the way there. But what I want to say is, dentists always give you the option, well, my dentist did, of getting the tooth removed to avoid all the unnecessary hassle of removing a crown, etc, etc. And I've had a lot of time to think about this because it took me so long to go and see a specialist because they were fully booked. What I want to say is, don't pay too much attention to all the bad stories you hear about on the internet about removing a crown and how long it takes and how long you have your mouth open for, and they put this thing on your mouth to keep it open. Let me tell you that my experience today was nothing like that. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to discourage you from going to the first point that they suggest, which is removing the tooth. It's not your only option. If it's not your only option, you have options of removing the crown and dealing with the tooth, receiving treatment to sort out your tooth and keep your tooth. I'd say definitely keep that in mind and don't agree to removing teeth just because you've got a little bit of pain and you're desperate to get it removed. I mean, this infection started to spread. It's been a nightmare. I have been so anxious about it. I've had some sleepless nights. I've been on ibuprofen forever. I've had 3 or 4 courses of antibiotics during the time I've had this problem. But don't resort to taking the tooth out if you do have other options, because it really wasn't that bad getting the crown removed. So I've had the crown removed and I have to wait for the specialist now to they put a temporary crown on it, and the specialist is gonna clear the infection from the root because it's in the canal. And I'm probably going to wait a few weeks, maybe even longer, so I'm going to have a bit more of an anxious time. But I really was adamant on keeping my tooth. I haven't lost any teeth yet and I don't want to start now. But the other thing I want to say is, if you need braces or your kids need braces, please really think about this carefully, because I had braces. I had to have 4 teeth removed to have the braces. So if your kid needs extractions to have braces, really think twice about this. If their teeth aren't that bad, I would say don't go for it, because having braces has absolutely given me so many problems. Although my teeth are nice and straight and they're in pretty good nick, but basically the molars they extract for you to have the braces, down the line it can affect you adversely, because you could end up with bone loss, and that's what's happened to me because I had my molars removed. So I've got moderate bone loss now, which means in the future I have to consider implants, or, you know, if the bone loss gets worse, then I won't even be able to have implants. So at the time where if I lose any of my teeth, I'm in trouble basically, and I don't want to end up with dentures. But it's, in my mind, it's all down to the braces. And I have read about what happens when you have teeth removed. As soon as the tooth is removed, you start getting bone loss. That's a fact. So if your kid needs braces, do think about this. Obviously it's too late for me to go back now, but my son has been told he needs braces, and that's going to involve extractions because he's got an overcrowded mouth. But he's only 12, so they started doing braces a bit earlier than I had mine. I was 15 when I had my braces. It's a hard time having braces. It's really difficult trying to clean your teeth when you've got train tracks on, the permanent ones where you can't remove them. the rubber bands always snap and slap your mouth, and you know, always need replacing. You need special toothbrushes to be able to brush your teeth, and I think that my teeth suffered a lot because I couldn't floss them during that time because of the braces being there, and I had braces for 4 years. So that is the bit of advice I want to give you. The other thing is, look for a good dentist, because if you're not comfortable with your dentist, the anxiety just shoots through the roof. And if you're lucky enough to find a good dentist, definitely drive further, get the train if you have to see a dentist. Get yourself a dentist that you trust, because many years that I've been going to the dentist, I've had some really bad dentists. I've had a few good ones as well, I've been lucky, but when I moved out of the area, I ended up with a dentist I didn't trust, and he basically gave me an infection, and this infection is actually in the same spot as when I got that infection back then. So I don't think it's a coincidence that I've ended up with an infection. But also I had a poorly fitted crown as well, thanks to dentists again. The crown had like 2 hooks on the side of it, and everything I ate just gets stuck under the crown, and that can of course cause an infection. Look after your teeth, guys. Make sure you're brushing them twice a day. Make sure you're rinsing. If you're not using mouthwash, I don't particularly trust mouthwash, but you could water it down because I find them a little bit strong. Salty water rinses, do that every day. Watch what you're eating. Don't eat too many sweets. Don't eat them sticky sweets, things like Mars bars that get stuck in your teeth, because it starts with fillings. When you start getting fillings, it leads to crowns, and crowns only last about 10 years. Mine's lasted a little bit over 10 years, and I've been lucky, but obviously now that I've had an infection in that tooth, and infections can kill you. You can get sepsis from infections. You can get the infection spread into your jaw if it's a tooth at the bottom. It can spread to your brain if it's a tooth at the top. I don't want to scare you, but look after your teeth, and if you feel any pain, go and see your dentist. I mean, I've never neglected the dentist. I've been neglected by dentists, so it's quite sad, really. That's all I've got to say on the subject. I am very happy that I've had this done, though. I'm so glad that I didn't get the tooth removed. Even to the last minute, they were saying, do you want to remove the tooth? But don't forget that when you remove one tooth, it's going to lead to more tooth loss, because the tooth next to it's going to start getting weaker. You're going to be chewing on the other side because you've got a tooth missing, which is going to cause gum problems. Look after your teeth, guys. Right, well, that's it from me. That's your lecture over for today. Take care. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.